Hey Triskells, it's Brent here with another time tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to add some AM and PM notation. Now if you're not sure with what AM and PM means, it's basically AM means before midday and PM means after midday. The A stands for I think ante-meridiem I think, and it just means Latin for before midday, and post, no, I'm not sure it's post, the P means. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Anyway, so we're going to figure out how to add this notation into our clock here. So let's start by doing that. So what we're going to do is create a new variable here. So you need to go to the data category and go create variable, and this one's just going to be called in capitals for me. You could do it lowercase if you want. I'm just going to go AM PM, okay, for all sprites, and go OK. And there on the stage we've got this little AM PM thing just there. I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, now you see it's set to 0. That's not a valid value for our AM PM. So I'm just going to, well, I've actually got it set up there already. Set AM PM to AM. So just drag that out from there and set an initial value there, because 0 is not a valid one. So when the green flag is clicked, we're always going to start with an AM value, which is cool. Okay, so how and when does this value change? Well, it changes every time the clock makes a 12-hour loop. So every time the clock makes a full 12-hour rotation around, okay? I'm just recording this again. I just wanted to show you when we would actually tick over from AM to PM and when we tick over from PM back to AM. Okay, so I'm just going to slow down this clock speed, just it's a little bit distracting for us. So what we can do is when we actually change from 11 to 12, it ticks over to whatever it is. So it tick over to AM to PM. So I'll just show you what that kind of looks like. Okay, so every time the clock, the hours make one full loop or one full rotation around the clock, it ticks over. The AM would tick to PM, or the PM would tick to AM. Okay, so this would have ticked to PM, and it would continue around until it would make another one, and then it would actually go back. So that is how, it's basically half of the day, half of a full 24-hour day, because 12 plus 12 is 24. So every 12 hours, we just toggle that notation. We want to say every 12-hour, we just want to switch from AM to PM. So the way that we can do that is we can get a control statement. We can say if is equal to, if our clock hours, so you go to your data, if our clock hours are equal to 12, then we need to do something, okay? We need to do something. Just dragging that up there before our clock hours is equal to 13. Let's go to our events and let's just broadcast another message. You know how much I love doing this, so we're going to broadcast another message. We're going to go toggle, which just means is another word for switch. Toggle AM PM. We'll do that. Then grab the when I receive that message. Toggle AM PM. Remember, we're working the hour hand here. So when I receive toggle AM PM, we need to do some stuff. So let's go into our control blocks and let's drag in an if statement. So if, and this is where we're going to check for if something is equal to something. Okay, so if our AM to PM value is currently equal to AM, then you want to set that value. You want to set that value to PM. Okay. Now I've made a mistake here. I've got the wrong if statement. So if I go to control, I'm going to get this if and else statement instead. So that just says if our AM PM is equal to AM, then I want you to set our AM PM value to PM. Otherwise, for all other cases, I'm just going to duplicate that by right clicking, set it back to AM. So all this will do is just continually bounce back and forth to these two values. So let's actually see our clock in action now. Alright, so there we go. It's currently set up as AM. I'll just drag that out there so you can see it. Currently set to AM. We're at midday, so we're not really going to see it change drastically here. But if I make this 11 instead, and we bump up our minutes very close to the end. There we go, that's pretty close. It's 11:58 now, so we're 1 minute away from a possible change, and I expect this over here to go to PM, and it does. So now PM meaning midday, and if we were to do the exact same thing again, we'll go back in time, or actually go forward in time, and let's speed up our minutes again just to see this working in action. So it's 11:57, 11:58, then we'll tick over to 11:59. We're nearly at midday. Our hour hand's pointing at the 12, and there we go, we've gone back to AM. So this will just forever switch back and forth from AM to PM. And that is how you can add the AM PM notation to our clock. That'll be it for this tutorial. I'll catch you in the next one.